How's it? And welcome to our first episode of Moves Mzansi with your host Mpelo Dlamini. Fantastic, great to meet you. As I've alluded before, our space here, our channel is really about, on one hand, increasing financial literacy, one with the hopes of eventually you speaking with a financial planner, financial advisor. It doesn't have to be me. Number three, it is to educate and entertain, right? And first of all, I want to pause and start off by saying that none of what we say on the channel, none of what I say should ever be misconstrued as financial advice. Please consult a financial planner to get a unique understanding on your unique situation. You might be the same age as somebody and not be in the same life space, so you might not need to be using the exact same solution as them. You might be, we will get into it as things go on, but it changes per person, so don't ever construe what we say here as personal financial advice. This is general education and literacy. Let's jump right into it, right? So our topic today, our first conversation actually, is going to be around income illusion, right? Why having more money generally leads to you overspending. Why earning more never makes people rich. So you've been around people that are earning, over 50, 60 G's, 100, and they might have all of the trappings and the nice things, but their finances still are not in order. They have not moved. You might be a person that's earning a big chunk of money, but you're spending maybe 10, 20% more than what you're earning. So that we speak about as the income illusion. Most people really think that their problems will disappear, your financial problems end once you start earning more. And so many of us think that we could be earning 40, 50 to 100,000 Rand and will still have financial stress, right? That's because of the phenomena referred to as the income illusion, right? This is what we're really going to discuss. So what is the income illusion, right? The income illusion is the false belief that earning more money automatically equals to wealth. It's confusing your income with your personal net worth, financial security, and financial freedom, right? These are concepts that aren't the same. So what you're earning may translate to having a bit of financial security, but it doesn't mean are you financially secure. It doesn't mean are you financially free, because you're still bound effectively to the salary, right? And so just to be very clear, income is the monies that are coming into your business, but wealth is what you keep and what you grow. So if you're earning 100 grand and you're not keeping and saving and investing anything, you're not building any wealth. You're just spending your income. It's coming in as quickly as it comes out. Why does a higher income often increase your financial pressure? Well, immediately when you start earning more, your lifestyle increases, right? Lifestyle inflation. We're buying cars, we're joining gyms, we're subscribing to new streaming services. We're just spending more money because we have more access to money, right? And you find out that you add up expenses more than you have discipline in your saving and spending. So you're not thinking about it, but you keep on spending because in your mind the money is there. So if you went from 15,000 to 30,000, you'll find that within 3-4 months you're spending your full 30,000. Somehow 6 months ago you could get by on just 15,000. That is lifestyle inflation, right? Effectively, what we're finding out is that with lifestyle inflation, the stress scales with your income if you don't have a structure for what you do with your income. And so now we just move on to the next element, which is the higher income trap. There's more lifestyle inflation. It's where buy the more expensive item. It's where you're doing more because you can afford more, not because you need more. So it's buying the more expensive car, it's upgrading your car, it's having a higher rent. Increasing your bond is always a good thing. It's going to decrease the amount of time you spend paying your bond, unless you're now taking up a whole new bond. And now you've increased your payments, so now you set yourself back, you've lost equity in your property. But it's increasing your subscriptions. It's effectively where you have less profit margins coming for yourself, less margin of retention, but you're spending more money. One of the greatest ways to describe it is called the hedonistic treadmill. What the hedonistic treadmill pretty much asserts is that when you buy something, when you gain or lose something, the human mind is going to be happy for a short while and you're going to come back down to your base level of happiness. So that means you bought the M4, now what? You're tired of driving it every day. It's just a blue car to you, because to you it's no longer a level of achievement. So you buy something else. So now you're spending and spending, but these things, they're not bringing you any more happiness, any more utility. That is what the hedonistic treadmill is, right? It's where, I guess, your fulfillment decreases. The best way to describe it, your fulfillment decreases depending on what you've bought and how long you've owned it, right? So you're not going to enjoy your fifth Rolex the same way you enjoyed your first Rolex. You understand? What it really boils down to is where we spend our money and how it yields results, right? So now I'm just going to highlight the difference between how a rich high income earner would think versus a poor high income earner would think. It's not really about how smart you are, it's not about your intelligence, your qualification, it's not about your ability, your hustle, your drive and ambition. It really boils down to having a good structure financially, right? While a rich person, they're investing and saving before they start spending, right? So they've designed their cash flow. They know that they're fixed at 50,000 rand in terms of expenses per month. Even if they're earning 150,000 rand, they're not going to be doing any material change to their lifestyle because they're comfortable. They have that structure. Now, the broke high income earner, unfortunately, their tendency is to spend what you've got. Have a structure. Say that I'm not going to buy it right now, I'm going to save for it. Because I have a structure, I have a plan. And notice, these are words I'm going to be using a lot on our channel. Structure, plan. Because financial security, financial freedom are built. They're not earned. It's not a salary thing. It's not a how much money you have thing coming in. What it really is a strategy for what you do with your money that's going to build your financial security and in the long term your financial freedom. So now let's talk about really what are wealth building activities, wealth generating activities, right? It's learning to save and invest before you spend. It's growing your lifestyle a bit slower than you grow your income. Consistent investment early on and throughout your life as you're earning. Don't tell me you don't have money to save and invest because you spent it first. And then wonder why in 20, 30 years, when it's time for us to retire, that your retirement isn't looking too good. It's learning to manage your income leaks. And by income leaks, I'm talking about those small things. I used to have a thing where I buy a buddy box of Coca-Cola every day. And I sat down one day and I pulled out my 3-month bank statement and spending just under 100 rand a week buying Coca-Cola from Monday to Friday. I still want to carry on and love the weekend warrior lifestyle, enjoy myself, my people. That's still me taking money. So I had to then, figure out something's got to give, How are you spending nearly 400 rand on Coca-Cola? You're spending nearly 4,000 rand on the weekend lifestyle. But you're not saving anything. You're not investing. You have money for the bottle store. You have money for McDonald's. You have money for Coca-Cola, you have money for our smoking, ever vaping. We have money for everything, but we're not giving ourselves money, right? We're not saving and investing, which is effectively the only means that we have to pay ourselves, not what they pay you. They pay you to get to work and spend money. They hope that you spend all of your money. Money is boring, right? I need people to understand that in order to build wealth, money is boring, You must look at it like bricks, bro. Like every 500 rand that you invest, every 250 you invest, look at it like a single brick. And the interest is the mortar, right? After a while, when you keep laying bricks with mortar, you're going to have a wall. You can have a house. That is the basis of investing. When you're investing small, you're investing consistently. And you're just making money boring, And then you protect your progress with proper risk planning as well. Is a very serious advantage. By risk planning, I'm talking about covering your personal risk, covering risk to your properties as well. So personal risk, injury, illness, disability, death are your main risks as an individual. But how do you protect your property? Are we insuring our cars, insuring our houses? Why should you buy it again when you can spread the risk, you can split the risk with an organization? Let's now talk about how to break the income illusion, right? How to get out of that spend first mentality, because that's effectively what income illusion really is. It's I earn more, so I'm going to spend more. In a nutshell, right? So let's start there. First, you have to ask yourself the number one question is, how do I keep more of my money and grow it? And number one, that's probably going to go see a financial advisor. You're going to need to start some level of savings and investment plan. I will not get into product. If you're looking for advice on products, shoot me a message or set up a conversation and then I explain to you on an individual level. I really want you to understand that everything is personal. If you want to invest 450 rand a month, okay, I don't know, if some organizations allow it, then take it. If you want to invest 3,000 a month at your tax-free threshold, take it if you've got it. That's how you keep your money, that's how you pay yourself. Not how do I earn more. Earning more is great, guys, But it's what do we keep at the end of the day for ourselves. That's really important. And second is really track your spending, guys. Like open an Excel spreadsheet. You can go on your social medias. I can even send you my personal budgeting tool that I'm using. You can go on your AIs and you can ask it to write you. You can have an Excel spreadsheet where you track your personal budget every single month and see that, no, man, I don't need to buy 5 Cokes in a month. If I'm going to 10 Hennessy one week, let me sacrifice buying Cokes for the month, and then I know that I've made up that 400 rand. That's the type of thinking that we're trying to get at. Not saying decrease your level, but you have to be smart about what we do with our money. And cap your lifestyle upgrades. I think we've become too focused on the appearance. I'd rather have a client that doubles up on their bond than drives the latest German sedan already. That all my debit orders go off, my car, my bond, my insurance, everything, the money's there, it's always there. If I have put a little bit extra in, that way you have something to balance in between. Or on your savings side, you keep savings in said account for 3 months. If you're depositing 2,000 Rand, for instance, for 3 months, then every 3 months you take out 2,000. So it would pretty much be 2,000 coming into the account to make it 6, and 2,000 leaving every single month. That would then go into an investment portfolio. So you know that you have emergency savings on hand that you can tap into at any given time. You have up to 6 grand. And from that, money is going into investments. So a third of that every single month is going into an investment. So it's effectively you putting in money for savings and money for investment leaving your savings account. Separate the accounts, guys. It's not having a singular bank account you do everything with. It creates more complications than what it's actually worth, Work with a financial planner to craft solutions for yourself. Find somebody that sits with you that you recognize that you can really be honest with. And you guys can then craft solutions together to your planning, right? And so now in closing, guys, right, I just want to just do a quick wrap up recap. Earning more money is helpful, right? It is the best thing ever. Earning more money is but it's not the final solution. I don't want to use that phrase, but it's not the final boss of solutions. It is part of the solution. So earning more money can fix today's problem, it can fix tomorrow's problem, but will it help you with lifestyle creep 5 years from now? When maybe you now have added an extra member to the family, you have a wife, you have a child. Are you now in a better position? Because do you have to now downgrade your car to pay school fees? Because that's what often happens, And you understand that without planning, right, more money is just more problems. As much as shout out to Big, more money, more problems. But yes, without a structure for your money, if you're not a spender, money's gonna sit in the bank account and it's gonna rot. It's gonna be open to inflation, right? And inflation is going to take value from your money. Every single year that your money stays in the bank, it loses purchasing power. So invest it. Have it gaining interest rather than losing purchasing power from inflation, right? And remember that wealth is not determined by income. So you might be young, you're starting out, you might not even be someone that's in the best world position in terms of earnings, degrees, qualifications. Wealth is not determined by what you earn. Wealth is determined by what you save and invest. If you can be disciplined enough with your savings and investments, then you will build wealth. Lastly, money works as hard as you put your money to work. It can work for you if you want it to work for you, but if you just want to spend it, it's a very different conversation. So if my conversation with you today resonates, I think it is now time for you to book an appointment with any financial planner. It can be me, reach out, it's free, guys. Your first appointment is just a conversation. You're not under any obligation to start taking out products. But I would like you, if the conversation resonates, go speak to a planner. Go start an investment structure. Say that I have a child that is 7 years old. I need to afford university in 11 years. How do I get there? Now it's time to replace the income illusion with true financial structure. If all this resonates with you, give us a shout. See you on the next Money Move. And my name is Mpela Hlejamene. Bye.